Hey, it's the Boring Wine Guy here, back again with your tip of the day. And I know I've been gone for a while, so today I am going to take my 20 years of wine experience and teach you how to be a wine snob in 5 minutes. And I know you're thinking, how is that possible? Well, let me tell you, looking like a wine snob and actually being a wine snob are two entirely different items altogether. Now, the first thing you have to realize is that only 17% of the American public are considered average wine drinkers, meaning they have anywhere from 2 to 3 bottles of wine per week. Now, that means they probably don't know a lot about wine either. They just like to drink it. And this is the cornerstone of looking like a wine snob, is that people don't know a lot about wine. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to examine the color. So after the wine's poured, you need to hold it up to the light and really look at the color and stare deep into the wine, really inspecting it, almost looking through the wine to see what its clarity is. And then proclaim that, of course, to the red wine, that this is as red as a cardinal's robe. How beautiful of a color is that? Not bad. That could probably be said for any red wine. And of course, if it's a white wine, you go through the same steps as well, except you look at it and say, God, this wine really reminds me of a sunset on a warm summer's evening. Sounds good, doesn't it? So next up is where we get to smell the wine and tell people what we're smelling. And of course, we're going to use words like aroma and bouquet, because that's how wine drinkers talk. So the first thing we need to do is swirl the wine. And I recommend keeping it on some sort of a desk or a table. And you got to swirl for 10 to 15 seconds. And why so long? Well, because we're a little pretentious, that's why. Then what you do is you get your nose deep down in the glass and take a big, long whiff of what you're smelling and then proclaim, I'm smelling stone fruits, especially if it's red. I am getting lots of stone fruit. Would you not agree? I'm getting stone fruits. Anybody? And the reason why you say stone fruits is because there's 6 to 8 different types of stone fruit, meaning that you're probably not going to be wrong. And of course, if it's a white wine, another safe one is this sure has a nice tropical flavor. And my tropical could be somebody else's floral. There's no wrong answers here, people. This is great. So the last part is the most fun part about being a wine snob or looking like a wine snob. And that is you get to try the wine and impress your friends by picking out the flavors that you are tasting and nobody else can taste. So the first thing you have to do is, of course, take a sip and slush it around your mouth, covering all your palate, swallowing, and then waiting 2 to 3 seconds for a dramatic pause, and then just name out a stone fruit. And if you use the words like wild or ripe, that just makes it sound like you know what you're doing even more. Something like this. Wow, I am getting lots of wild, ripe apricots. Are you not getting a lot of apricots? Isn't that incredible? And of course, asking somebody just reinforces that you're the professional. And of course, if this is a white wine, we would say that the flavors are mirrored on the palate. And all that is a fancy way of saying it tastes just like it smells. Now, of course, most people don't know much about wine, as we stated earlier. So that's why speaking first and speaking confidently will go far to impress your friends so you look like a wine snob. Now, of course, all joking aside, we're just trying to have a little bit of fun here today at the expense of wine. But the bottom line is there's a lot of people that are intimidated by wine and wine snobs. And as you can see, there's kind of a lot of BS that goes along with it. And the bottom line that I found over the past 20 years of drinking wine is drink what you like. Either you're going to like the wine or you don't like the wine. It doesn't matter what the ratings or what anybody else says. So do you want to be sitting around all night liking what somebody else is trying to tell you to like, or just drinking what you already enjoy? So remember, keep wine fun, never boring, and that's your tip of the day. Cheers.